This is Haven Harrington and Sean Myers from Main Event Sports Radio. We are here live in Atlanta, Georgia. We just got through watching the Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic with Louisville going against Auburn, and this was not the game we expected to see.
I tell you what, Haven, these first games of the season are always crazy. There's always a lot of unknowns and a lot of guys that either show up and surprise you or guys that maybe don't live up to expectations. So I think there was a lot of that out there today. Unfortunately, Louisville did fall on the short end of the stick, falling to Auburn today, 31-24, but I think there was a lot of positives to take out of today.
Well, one of the things was Louisville pretty much gave the whole first half with Auburn. Going to halftime, losing 17-0, 2 costly turnovers, one a fumble that's returned back for a touchdown, and then a costly interception on the very first play of the game by Lamar Jackson, who wound up being the star of Louisville's game. We came in with the argument of who's going to start, Cal Bolin or Reggie Bonifant. Reggie Bonifant got the start, and we heard all week long that there was going to be a battle between Cal Bolin and Reggie Bonifant, but Bonifant had some plays for him, and Cal Bolin had some plays for him, and they would both see time. That didn't happen. On that fumble, it was returned for a touchdown. Petrino sat Reggie out and turned the game over to Lamar Jackson, who turned into a superstar. Louisville did not score a point in the first half. Reels off 24 points in the second half on the legs and arms of Lamar Jackson.
And truthfully, I don't think it was really indicative of saying something was wrong with Reggie Bonifant. He was 8 of 13, 67 yards, had a good day. But at the end of the day, it was very much like last year where they couldn't finish off drives and get into the end zone. So I think Lamar Jackson really galvanized the team. He was able to come in, make some plays with his legs, and I think that was the biggest thing. Louisville's offensive line has a lot of issues right now.
No, let's be honest. Louisville's offensive line is horrible. Montavious Adams for Auburn. This man at the point of attack at the nose tackle blew up the center all game long. On that fumble that caused Reggie to sit down, it was because that he beat the running back to the handoff. He was trying to hand off to the running back, and he was already there. He could have handed the ball off to him. I mean, it was just amazing how many times he was just shredded Louisville's offensive line. Louisville's offensive line was like Swiss cheese out there with Auburn's defensive line. Now, I know Auburn has a great defensive line, but Louisville's offensive line made them look like the 85 Bears.
No, I totally agree with you. I think that Louisville's offensive line, and this is one of the concerns we talked about both at Saints Pub as well as on the show last week, were the question marks about how would an offensive line with 3 or 4 new starters really gel. And I think there was a lot of issues with that. Tobias Hughley's been a guy that I've had a lot of issues with. He didn't really show me anything to change my opinions of him as a starter. But at the end of the day, I think that Louisville did the right thing. I think Lamar Jackson, because he's a more experienced, even though he's a freshman, he's still a more experienced quarterback than Reggie Bonifant. Reggie Bonifant still is a it's only his 3rd year ever playing the quarterback position, where Lamar Jackson's been a quarterback his whole life. And I think that experience really helped him out in the fact that he's got great legs. He has great sense about him. I think one of the issues that we saw today was that Reggie still doesn't feel the rush. He still doesn't get rid of the ball, takes those long sacks, and I think Lamar Jackson showed the ability to know when to tuck it and run and when to make plays with his feet.
Well, the biggest thing is Lamar Jackson or Reggie Bonifant. I still think he's thinking too much as a quarterback position, and you can kind of see that his reads were half a second too late, his throws were half a second too late, and when he decided to take off and run, a lot of times it was too late and the rush was on him. Where you saw Lamar Jackson, when he made a decision to run, he ran. When he was going to throw the ball, he threw it, and I think that was the difference. And his ability to extend the play and to keep running and to run guys over is phenomenal.
Yeah, and I tell you what, for the day, he ends up with 111 yards rushing and a touchdown, ends up 9 of 20 for 100 yards passing. It's almost like he's back in high school again. I mean, he was the most dominant player in the state of Florida as a senior last year, winning the 5A state title. He comes out here today, puts up 200 total yards as well as a touchdown. Unbelievable performance by Lamar Jackson. As you said, a star may have been born. It really reminds me of that Miami game. We all remember when Stephon LaForest went out of that game, and Brian Brom came in off the bench and just really galvanized the team and really had ESPN and the rest of the football world buzzing, and I think Lamar Jackson might get some of that.
I agree. Hey, after this loss, I think it's time to Main Event Sports Show. We need to go out, have some fun, Luda Chris is having his birthday party this weekend. We're going to go hang out with Luda. Thanks for tuning in to the Main Event Sports Show. Tune in every Saturday from 6 to 7 p.m. on WLRU 104.7, the home of the Tom Jordan Morning Show.